All right, well, the U.S. will be playing Brazil in the final on Saturday after they took down Spain 4-2. This couldn't have been more of a disastrous start for Spain.
Actually, we have a audio note from Nico. I don't know if we can play it. This is something I want to bring up.
Well, it's
Do we have access to it?
It's coming. Oh boy, here
no.
it is.
Was it?
Oh.
It's difficult to feel disappointment when you completed an objective, which is go through to the next round. But the women's tournament is generous, where you can lose 2 games, win just a single game, and go through.
You said yesterday that
honestly, it's ridiculous.
It's unbecoming of the competition.
There should just be another group of 4.
Yeah.
Just exactly like the men's, right? It breeds mediocrity to a certain level. You can't finish 3rd and qualify to the next round. Just for me, philosophically, it doesn't make sense. Agree?
Do you still think third place team
Brazil,
should go through?
of course.
No, Brazil's in the final.
Yeah, but
just
of course.
bodied the world
just
champions.
Just like Portugal in the 2016 Euro, they finished 3rd and waltzed their way into a final. And they might as well just win it, but. We can't be having major tournaments with 3rd place finishers. If they win, there's a lot of merit to winning and finishing 3rd and winning, but absolutely you can't
And they've
finish
done it
3rd.
without Marta for the last 2
Because
matches.
you finished 3rd.
What's wrong with that?
Thank you.
Nico, that's like being in a boxing match and you're losing up to round 7
and then you knock them out.
You knock them out.
Yeah, that's part of the game.
Were they the better team against Spain?
Yes, by far.
By far.
By far.
And they
Okay,
would have missed that had they not been able to move through.
In tournament football, you're going to get that anyway, regardless.
Nico, this is just how it is.
It is how it is.
It's
Yeah.
how it is.
It is.
I love Nico because he'll plant his flag in there. This is the way it
I
should
do. I
be.
appreciate
And while
it
you're
so
not
much,
wrong,
but-
this is an example of the beauty, the magic that can come.
I disagree because football will present this circumstance regardless. Like Brazil didn't need to finish 3rd for this to have happened. Brazil could have finished 2nd and this could have happened, but they
Would
didn't.
the story be the same though? No.
Yeah, but
Marta's out for 2 matches and they body the world champs.
No,
That could have been 8-2.
It's a very generous tournament that they were allowed to finish 3rd in the group and still go
They
through
have
to the
taken
next
advantage
round.
of it.
Yes.
They've taken advantage.
of course they have.
Just
For
like a
every
center back.
mistake that Spain made yesterday, and there were plenty throughout the entire match, Brazil were right there to capitalize.
Well, I'm not saying that they didn't. This is. I'm looking at a bigger picture.
They've been given gifts. They've been given lifelines.
But tournament football like this, especially in such a small tournament, shouldn't give you a second lifeline. If you lose the first, if you didn't take the first lifeline, you're out. You're gone. You got to go home. But obviously, the tournament
Is literally
no chance.
taking advantage of the opportunities in front of you. It's what strikers do. It's what your favorite, get stuck in center backs do. And that's what Brazil did.
Do you think Brazil deserved to be in the final?
Well, yeah, absolutely. They beat Spain 4-2. I'm not saying that they don't deserve to be here. What I'm questioning is not the validity.
The structure of the tournament, then, basically.
Yeah, that's what it's about. That it's 3rd place is going through. It'll never happen in a World Cup. I will put $1,000 on that. It'll never happen in a World Cup.
That's a good party.
That's going to be
That's a good party.
Wait,
that might be a good party right there.
Let's make sure we clip that because you just said it will never happen in the World Cup.
Bet $1,000 here to anybody that it'll never happen at a World Cup. That a 3rd place team in a group of 4. As with the group stage, as we know, it won't happen with the 48-team World Cup.
We know FIFA likes us
What
to
are you
stretch
drinking?
a tournament. We know FIFA likes to stretch a tournament.
What are we drinking?
I think we're doing Louis the
I don't
15th
know, whatever
shots.
you want.
No, from my sources, it won't happen. Even FIFA has come out and said it.
I'd rather have a 2-year
Okay.
World Cup. But anyway, the point is, this was a great opportunity. And this is, you in particular have been a big proponent of talking about how teams grow into a tournament. There's no example better than Brazil right now. This team is completely different than what we saw in the group stages. And whether we like the fact that a 3rd place team got through or not, they seized an opportunity and they took full advantage of it and have completely upended some of the best teams in this tournament. And now they're in the final against the U.S. Can they do it one more time? With a rested Marta, with a fully rotated team. I'm a little worried. I'm not gonna lie. I was a fan of the U.S. men's national team.
No, it's definitely it's not going to be easy. And we talked about momentum yesterday and a Brazil team. And I know it ended for Canada, but this Brazil team just seems to be brimming with confidence at this point, especially after taking down the world champions in Spain. Let's chat on Spain quickly. They look like a different team from the one that won the World Cup. Nico, for you, where did they fall short? What went wrong for them?
Tactically, they also didn't get it right. The combinations to try to break Brazil apart, they were just bested in all departments yesterday. And maybe it's a mentality thing, maybe it's a physical thing. They did look tired. But also, when you give the other team an opportunity to go up again 2-0 on a scoreline, excuse me, you can't expect it to keep on happening. Against Colombia, sure, you got that edge, you're the world champion, blah, blah, blah. But you set the tone with the blooper of the tournament, and then you go down another goal on top of that. It's a tough mental edge to get over. And Spain, having not been in this circumstance before.
Did you think Spain was going to come back in this one the same way?
No.
That they were able to?
No, there was a different aura.
Yeah.
When you start a game like that, and they looked. In the second half against Colombia, it looked like there was that feeling.
Yeah.
Here, I don't think there ever was that feeling.
How long has it been since we said about any Spanish national team, men, women, different age, doesn't matter, that this game felt like it got away from them pretty quickly? I don't think we've been able to say that in over a decade.
6-minute own goal.
Yeah.
Disastrous.
Maybe 2000,
in the back.
2018?
Yeah, 20.
You can't make mistakes like that in big games. That's the thing. You're going to get punished, and that's
Brazil
exactly what
pounced.
happened. It's
It's
just
a
the mistakes that
mentality
they
killer.
made. Hey, credit to Brazil for taking those opportunities, like you said, Sue, being very clinical, because other teams might not have taken it, and then you could see maybe Spain coming back into it, but
I was actually
Brazil,
watching
I think, made a
it.
statement
I was
as well
thinking of
themselves.
you when I was watching Brazil.
Why are you
Because
thinking of me?
this
Don't
is
you ever
Nigel
think of
football.
me?
I think about you all the
Don't
time.
you ever think of
Oh
me
my
in your
God.
life?
No, I think about you all the time.
No.
But in particular, when I was watching Brazil, because it's that moment of like, the moment there's a lateral pass, like a box pass or something, or there's a slightly heavy touch, attack, run, go. I'm like, this is Nigel football. This is attacking Route 1, if you will. Kind of boring, but whatever.
Route 1.
But this was exciting. Yes. Hoof and chase. Is that what you like?
One thing about Brazil that I didn't like, though, and I'm all for folklore and showboating and like the Moroccan player celebrating in front of the goalkeeper after the penalty kick, like Otamendi doing this to the Dutch players after the World Cup, like Rapinoe doing the T against Thailand.
The French players.
Go on.
When the Spanish goalkeeper committed the atrocity in the air, especially women's football has historically been very noble. There have been a lot of values that I think don't translate into the men's game. It has. There's less time wasting. There's less faking of fouls and stuff like that. The women's game is a very noble game.
Was it the US women did that one time?
In general, I was like, I can't talk for everybody, but what I didn't like was the Brazilian forward. After the Spanish goalkeeper did the mistake, she goes and celebrates in her face. Like, after a mistake, like, she's beating the horse when it's down.
You just talked about wanting your defenders to be violent and kicking people and this.
That's different.
Now someone scores a goal.
No.
They're not allowed.
She didn't score a goal. She didn't score a goal.
She didn't score a goal. Okay, but now she goes into the goalkeeper's
She didn't
face.
score.
Okay,
This is the dichotomy of Nico
But
Cantor.
I'm just saying that now
There's a
you
fine
don't
line, I
want.
get it.
You don't want going to the goalkeeper's face.
I didn't say I want.
Why?
I thought it was distasteful.
What
She
if-
can do whatever she
what
wants.
if-
I'm not telling her
Okay,
she
Nico, I'm
needs
just saying this.
to behave
What
the way
if-
she must behave.
What if they exchange words before war? Like, you don't know that.
That is the context we don't know. And if you said
don't
some
know.
stuff to me, best believe.
That's my point. If you say
But
some
it
stuff to
came
me in the
off-
pitch, if I know you.
It came off as distasteful, and if I was the center back and I saw the forward doing that to my goalkeeper when she makes a mistake, then there's codes that have been violated from football that I'm lifting up the ground, you know? Don't disrespect me like that. There was a little bit of fire to it. And Brazil likes to play with that fire, with there's that South American something else, you know, that they bring to the table, ruffle some feathers, and the US best be prepared.